Yep. Okay, so got this block of tine nice and hot. I've put centre dot grid in the centre, about 35mm from one end. Just going to get Elliot now to, oh, hang on a second. Yep. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to mark up this stock so that it's easier just to find when we come out of the fire and do the actual punching. Yes? Yep. Okay, so I'm going to get Elliot to give us a whack on there, yep. So I'm going to remove the drift every time, yep. I'm also going to rotate the work every time, yep, yep. So if I remove the drift, yep, one more, gives it a chance to cool down ever so slightly. And as you can see, in between each blow there when Elliot's hitting, yep, yep, I'm just lifting the tooling out so it doesn't sit inside that heat and soak up. Yep. One. Okay, remember this is a heat sink, so if you're going to be waving this around, don't hold it on the anvil, leave it flat like that, it's going to steal all the heat out of it. I'm also going to just take, I've got a little bit of graphite mixed in here with some linseed oil and a little bit of beeswax. Yep. And again. Yep. Okay, so what I've got here in this situation is that the eye's slightly off on one side, so I'm going to lift it to the high side, or the side that I want it to move over to, and I'm just going to hover it in the hole and let Elliot hit it. Yep. And that's moved it over nicely, so I'm going to do the same on this side. Yep. And again. One. Yep. Oh. Cheeky little devil. One, just like that. So there's our eye, all nicely punched through. Next step, to drift it out. So if you have someone to help you, this is very nice, but if not, you're going to have to do this yourself. So I'm going to come in with the drift on the anvil, and I'm going to pull it through until it hits the anvil. And the reason for that is if there is a lot of stuff in the way, you get a lot more support from the anvil than you will if you're doing it over a hole. Now I'm going to come over the hardy, and I can start putting that through until the drift is almost touching on all its sides, which it almost is. Just going to bring this side in a little bit, this side in a little bit, and then just let it fall off. Back in the fire. Okay, so Elliot's going to lift it up the opposite side this time. I think that's the opposite one. There it is. I'm going to drop that hammer eye punch in, drift again. Basically drive it in until all the sides, I can't really see, until all the sides touch there. Just come over to the other side of the hammer and just start forging that down. Okay, Elliot's going to pass that over to me again. I'm going to run the drift through this time. All sides are touching, or nearly at least. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the blank, I'm going to hold it over at an angle and take the round inside of my hammer. Oh, you can use a cross peen should you desire. I'm going to start pulling the cheeks out on here, on this side to start with. Just going to keep loosening it up. And then I'm going to tighten that up just once more. And then I'm going to use the top and bottom of this and I'm aiming this far side closest to the fattest end of the hammer eye drift, so that I make sure I keep these nice and round. Yeah, thanks Elliot. So what I'm trying to do is develop these cheeks that I've got here, so in order to protect them now, so I need to put them somewhere where they're not going to get damaged, and that involves hanging them down into a slightly larger orifice like that. I'm just going to drive that drift in a couple of hits again till it touches all round, get one more for luck, and I'm going to go over to the anvil and continue to draw out those sides, those cheeks. So you don't have to do this, but yeah, you can use a fuller, to start spreading those cheeks and just retighten that up. But make sure not to forge this end of the drift, because otherwise, all you'll do is you'll close the eye. One more. Thank you. I'm going to do the other side. Okay, so I'm continuing to return to the swage block in order to drive the drift in, and I'm not driving it too deep. All I'm doing is making sure that each one of those sides is covered nicely, and then Elliot's going to come again. Just pull those cheeks out again. It's on me, so I'm just going to drive that in a little bit more. One more. Thank you. I'm just going to do the top and bottom. Again. And again. So he's aiming this side here. One more. So that in the only side of that part of the drift that's being forged on is the fat side. Right, hit that in the flatter a little bit. Okay, cheeks are drawn out nicely. Just going to come to this side of the anvil, the closest side to me on the anvil. I'm just going to find a nice edge, and then I'm going to take quite a large flatter. This one here is kind of a set hammer slash flatter. Just going to place that on there. And I'm just going to start bringing the back in. One more. And turn that round then and do the other side. So this is going to become our striking side. So I'm going to just start angling that down. I'm going to come onto these sides now. One more. Okay, so same again. I'm going to start working on these sides. And then I'm going to go through 90. 180. And I'm going to do the other side. Then I'm going to do this side. Anything I do on one side, I'm going to try and repeat on the other. So I'm trying to pull this down into a bit of a taper, and the reason for that is, as it gets used, it's going to mushroom up ever so slightly. And this will allow you to dress it back either with a grinder, or if you want to, you can forge it. And then I'm just going to come up onto the corners here and try and find that. Yes. Lovely. Do this side here. Start bringing this into a bit of an octagon. Probably get my head in the way there, aren't I? I'm just going to carry on with these diagonals. I'm just going to tidy up now and just go around. That's it, lovely. So we've got ourselves, this is our striking side now. It's all nice and tapered up, made nice and octagon, and it's a reasonably square size at the back. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pull out the end for making the punch. You might want to do this with a set of fullers, or potentially under a power hammer, or with a hydraulic press, but all I'm going to do to start with is just bring this down just a bit. Oh, my ear defenders. Just to start getting this looking somewhere in the right space for the material I need. I'm going to come on this side as well. I'm doing this a little bit in front of the eye because I don't want to damage the eye, which is very easy to do. You see that a lot, people pinch the eyes quite a lot when they're making hammers. You want to try and avoid that as much as you can. A pinched eye is no good. Bring those corners in. It's just to give me a guideline on where I need to start pulling that material from. Okay, so I'm going to start working on drawing the stock down. Okay, so I'm going to get Elliot here just to give me a hand again. Yep. Yep. Working both sides evenly. Yep. 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 Oi. One more. Okay, so just saw me drawing that down using the Massey. I am struggling with time at the minute, so I don't really have the time to spend just drawing out, but basically I've drawn this into a taper and then forged it into, I'm going to say an octagon, but it's an 8-sided shape, so it's a tapered rectangle down into a point, and then I'm taking the corners off so that I can so that when I come to grind this up, I'll grind it into a slightly oval shape on the one side, on the edges, and then this bit here will be, so this will be slightly ovaled, and then those sides will be flat and tapered, and that's basically the hammer eye punch all done. I'm just going to bring the cheeks out a little bit before I go into the grinding process, and it will probably get a bit more forging done to it after the grinding process. I'm going to straighten everything up as well now. Yep. Yep. So here's the punch. I've gone over the cheeks a little bit. I like to dress them up a little bit. I'm going to do a bit more forging on these before we're finished yet. But I've just done that with an 80 grit. I've just taken out some of the big lumps and just rounded this up a little bit. I've also dressed the back with an 80 grit as well. But as you can see, what I've tried to do, it's not 100% perfect yet, I've got a bit more work to do, is keep that line down here so this runs through the centre nicely, and the same on this side. Try and keep it the centre. And then a nice clean taper here. This has only been done with a stone so far, I haven't gone through all the grits. And then lastly, I brought this up to a nice point, which I'll adjust after it's been heat treated. Right, let's go on. warm now, and I'm just going to take the ooh, probably should have put a glove on for this, but I'm just going to drive that in a little bit, and then it's through nicely now, so I'm just going to let it come off like that. Nice. Right, so I'm going to let that normalise. Whilst that's normalising, I'm just going to tidy this up a little bit and get it ready to receive the handle after the heat treat. Okay, so this is the burnt end here. I've just got a spoke shave, and I'm just going to take the burnt material off, and also just bring the point where the punch stopped moving down. I'm just going to bring that back a little bit because I want the end of the handle just to poke through the end of the hammer, right? But the burning is only superficial on here. It only goes down a couple of mil, not even that really. Almost finished. I just got to put the handle on now. I was umming and ahhing about water quenching this, but I did in the end anyway. If you are going to heat treat this, the reason for the heat treat is basically to keep this part here rigid whilst you're driving it into the hammer. And things you need to remember is that this is going to get hot this end, so therefore it's going to lose its hardness, especially the area that's in contact. So that might mushroom up, and you'll have to dress that from time to time, and this end wants to be soft. So if you're going to do the heat treating process like I did, make sure you temper this back end off. You might even want to bring this up to a sort of a cherry red colour just to guarantee that there's no hardness in this area, but at the same time you don't want to lose all the hard work you put in to get this heat treated up nicely. All I've done is just polished up the faces again, a nice raised end to help with that contact from the sledgy. These are going to deform again, that's partly for the taper, and I've tidied up and taken the temper colours out of this end now. And I like a tool that shears a little plug out rather than one that cuts. Some people put these as blades, and some people do the 4 points. I quite like having it this way, just preference really. So I'm going to get this handled up nicely, and then that's basically it. Thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've really enjoyed making this hammer eye punch. It turned out lovely. I've got a few more of these to make, along with some other tools like flatters, hammer eye drifts and stuff, so I'll be making videos on those. I've loosened up the table a little bit, which means that I've got a big job out. So I've got some small jobs that are sitting on there. I can do those alongside making tooling and stuff. So hopefully there'll be a few more videos coming out every now and then. I'm making these tools because I'm teaching classes. The classes I've got, the 24th of August one, they're all gone now. I haven't got any more spaces there. And the 10th, I think I've got 2 more places left on the 10th. So if you are keen to come down here and make the different style 50mm round hammers that I made under the power hammer the other day. If you want to come down here in this workshop and make some hammers for the day, I have 2 more places left. So there's a link in the description for the hammer classes. So if you're interested, send me an email and I can sort you out with some times and some more information if you need it. So I think that's everything for this episode. Thank you for joining me. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are a subscriber, make sure you ring that bell for notifications, because it'll tell you every time I make a video. I make videos as often as possible. It's very busy here in this workshop. My first job is blacksmithing, and then we do the YouTubing on the side. So unfortunately, sometimes making content can be a little bit difficult. Comments down below, let me know what you thought of the hammer I punch, let me know what you might like to see next, and also any questions you might have about any of the processes that happened in this video. Hopefully I covered a lot of it in the actual video itself. You'll find lots of cool stuff in the description. There is a link to my website, there's a link to my Instagram. I'll put Elliot's Instagram up there as well. Go and check that out. The students really do appreciate the support just as much as I do. Also, why not go and check out the Etsy? It's a great place to find stock, tools, and you can get yourself t-shirts and hats on there. And as we go through the next couple of months of getting this stuff made, hopefully there'll be some spillover and I'll be able to put some extra tools, all sorts of cool stuff up there for you guys and girls at home to get your hands on. I think that's everything for this episode. Thank you so much for joining me. I will leave a link up here to a video of me making some other tooling for hammers. I'll leave a hammer video here. This will be another kind of video here, and this is the subscribe button. Thank you so much for joining me. See you later. Bye bye.